Today, we're continuing our look at Marvel's first family.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Matt and Stu Review, where we take a look at your favorite toys from yesterday and today. Stuart, what do we have on the table?
Today, we're going to take a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends retro-carded Human Torch from 2022.
Okay. So retro carded, what does that actually mean?
Basically, that means he comes on in a little clamshell clear plastic case on the front of a carded, rather than in a box. He's just a
Oh,
clamshell slapped on the front of a card, kind of like all the action figures came when we were kids.
right. Okay. So not a nice box format, but gotcha.
Yeah,
Very
and
cool.
I think Marvel uses those retro card releases to kind of prey on a lot of our nostalgia, and unfortunately, it works on me.
Hey, there's something to say about those. It is nostalgic
Yeah.
to open one of those up.
Well, let's get into the figure here. So, I'd say we've got a really classic style Human Torch, kind of a clear, Jolly Rancher look to the actual plastic of his body. He's got some of those black lines, those classic comic black lines that Johnny always has on his body. He's also got some flame effects. Looks like actually sculpted in as part of his head, and then on his forearms and on this set of hands. Comes with some accessory flames as well. He's got that shoulder flame there, the classic Marvel swirly twirly power effects here, and then he's got a couple of just plain fists.
You know what I've always been interested in is why the black striping. It's almost like grill lines, like
Yeah,
it's supposed to represent.
like he's a hot dog.
Right, exactly. Like he's been toasted. It's a really interesting figure. I really like the translucency. I don't know if there's a way to really pick that up in the camera.
So being from 2022, he has actually the older Hasbro Marvel Legends articulation scheme there. So you can see he does have pins in his elbows and his knee joints there. All of the other classic articulation though, waist swivel, he's got like a ab crunch. He's even got butterfly joints, which I think is pretty cool for any flying figure. If you want to get Johnny into a real dynamic flying pose, nice to be able to swing those arms, all the way forward and all the way back.
Yeah, that was something as I was doing just to pose him. Like you can actually move his neck back pretty nicely too, which I
Yeah.
thought was really cool. So you can get him like looking up at the sky as he's flying.
So I've had this figure for a while. You got to have a set of Fantastic Four figures, and I always, liked this the best of the Human Torches that we had on offer. I think it's really cool. He's got gold eyes,
Oh, that's wild.
right? They really, it kind of adds to that flaming luminescence.
Yeah, there's this sort of elder being quality to it where it's like instead of just being somebody with powers, it's like maybe there's a bigger reason as to why he has these powers, even though it's the cosmic rays. Or it's the fact that it's cosmic rays, it's like
Yeah.
adds to that level of the cosmic sense. That is really cool. I didn't even notice that. That's a cool paint.
Yeah, I'm honestly right now finding a new appreciation for this figure.
Now, we talked a little bit last time with the thing about our experience with the property of Fantastic Four. Is there any particular Human Torch stuff or Johnny Storm stuff that really sticks out for you?
So I would say I always identified with Johnny Storm when I first encountered the Fantastic Four. Just being the kind of hotshot bratty younger brother. I don't know. He spoke to little smart ass kids like me. I've always liked Johnny a lot. I honestly thought Chris Evans was a pretty great Johnny Storm in those original Fantastic Four movies. I don't remember the character much from the cartoons, like his actual characterization though.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I'm not remembering him from that Fantastic Four cartoon really at all. Like there's any sort of differentiation between him and the other characters, which is really strange because Johnny is, being he's big, he's a very large character in terms of his personality.
Yeah.
And so it's weird to think that I have no memory of that character. There's a French produced, I believe, animated series. It looks almost like anime. Johnny in that was really cool and energetic and really hyperactive and almost looking like I can't think the guy who made Aeon Flux. He has a style that's like that.
Interesting. I
really
could see
cool.
that being really cool.
So that's my big experience. And I do like Chris Evans actually in the role. I don't think there's anything wrong with how he did that.
He brought the right energy to the character that they wrote. His I still remember the intro scene where he's racing them to the launch site or something with his car, and he's got a babe in the car, of course, and he's talking shit. He's just, I always liked that he was kind of a prankster too. I thought it was fun when he would prank the Thing. He's always
Yeah.
going at the Thing. I always liked that he was like buddies with Spider-Man. It kind of added to like that, like it made the Marvel universe feel like a community. Because
Yeah.
like, yeah, of course the two young guys are going to be homies.
Right, and they're like they're different personality types that get into these really like really awkward love situations, which is funny because you have the hothead, definitely more leaning towards the womanizer side,
Yeah.
and then Peter who's just like I don't know these I don't know what to do.
Everything bad happens to me.
Yeah, I was thinking about the comics. I have a really interesting comic book run where Johnny Storm becomes the Herald of Galactus,
Oh.
and that's really cool. Like taking the flame powers to like the next level. I actually think he even gets the Sue's invisibility power as part of that as well. It's really
I would love to
interesting
see
and
a
cool.
figure of Johnny as a Herald of Galactus. That sounds pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. I want to talk a little bit more about the figure. Like I didn't say too much about it. This is going to sound really rude. This figure kind of makes me mad. There are elements of it I just really don't like. The effects are really cool, and the translucent body is so cool that the paint of just like the basic orange flames doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, they should have done like at least tipped them with a different color or a
Yeah.
fade, or I think like this figure also like figure technology, especially in like inkjet printing directly onto figures and stuff, has made some pretty huge leaps in the last 10 years or so. I have a feeling this figure maybe was tooled before some of those new technologies were available like in the Chinese factories.
Yeah, there's something like, and you had talked about it being the older style of Marvel Legends in terms of its articulation.
Yeah.
So maybe that's another reason. The hair flames really make him look older. The way it's like the widow's
It's like a
peak, and
receding
it's
hairline.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really strange. Like it's an odd choice. You almost want it to be like coming off the back or from the front, like fully, done.
Well, as we're critiquing the figure, I will say I don't like fire hair for Johnny Storm at all. Like, I would actually prefer if he just had a smooth head and maybe the flames were in other places,
Hmm.
or if the flames were more of like a print or something on the body, maybe a texture. I don't know. To me, it kind of breaks the silhouette. Like, Johnny Storm doesn't really have like a flaming little carrot top.
Yeah, that's true. Like I'm seeing Captain Marvel in my head from the Captain Marvel movie with like the hair going up, and like that's great on her, but yeah, that doesn't instantly say Human Torch to me.
Another critique I have of the figure, and it may just be the fact that the plastic is so thin at his fingers, but they kind of are getting to be like pink and washed out. It also could be that they're just fading, because I do know that this translucent plastic does not hold up the same as regular opaque plastics do. When you're getting vintage figures with that translucent kind of finish, a lot of times it degrades and either gets cloudy or changes color or gets sticky, or weird stuff can happen to it. So now that we've covered the Johnny Storm figure that I have, let's talk a little bit about the upcoming Johnny Storm figure from Hasbro Marvel Legends that's coinciding with the Fantastic Four movie.
Okay.
Have you had a chance to look at that figure?
I have. So technically, there's two figures, but we're going to talk about the Flame On version, right?
Yes.
Because there's one that's really just Johnny Storm, and he 100% has these effects in his hands.
Marvel Legends reuse. That is.
First things first, I want to say that I'm really excited to see Joseph Quinn playing this character because I love Stranger Things. So really like excited to see his career just blow up.
Yeah, and he was kind of almost like had a Johnny Storm kind of personality
Yeah,
in that
yeah,
movie, so he should make a really good
he
one.
should. I'm really curious to hear what you have to say about it because I know that you had thoughts,
Yes.
and I'm kind of just waiting to hear what exactly.
So
is
one of
going
the
on.
reasons that we're not looking at the actual figures from First Steps is I don't really care for most of them, but especially the Johnny Storm, especially the Human Torch, I should say. So with the new line, they decided to go ahead and leave his clothes on and make him like a translucent clothed flaming figure. And I think Johnny Storm needs to have that like classic spandex silhouette, like he's just a buff body with flames around him. Like, I don't like the texture and the extra material of a flaming suit.
Okay.
Also, unstable molecules or no, I don't think the suit works like that. He's going to be too hot in that sweater with his flames on.
Okay. That's very interesting. I actually have the exact opposite reaction. Looking at the pictures for this figure, I think it looks way better than what's here on the table. I think that the fact that there is those the sweater lines lend to that comic look, kind of the same way the striations, the black ink lines, if you will, are on this. Plus, something I didn't realize I would be missing is seeing the four. That is on the new fig. The four is actually there. It's not lit up the way that it would in my head. I think it should be like the a glowing piece, like it should be like
Oh
bright
yeah,
yellow, like
part of the flame.
yeah, part of the flame. And I also think they handle the flame hair better in the new figure. Yeah, no, I
They're
think it
really
looks
making it his hair more, it seems like, in that figure rather than just
yeah.
some flame stuck on top of his head.
Yeah, I really I dig it. Now I'm gonna be curious about the eyes. Does look it has the gold eye paint job as well, so that'll be really interesting to see. There is something actually about the texturing that lends itself to being more interesting to me. But you do have a point. Like when he flames on, it's almost like the bodysuit tightens or something and like goes away
Yeah,
visually. Huh? I
I don't
hadn't really
exactly
thought
know
about
how
that.
it works, but
Right, unstable
yeah.
molecules. Oh, gotta love
I
those
will say
terms.
I do prefer all of the flame effects on
Mhm.
the new figure. He actually has translucent flames on his hands. He has translucent flames for his hair. His sort of, I don't know, back hair flame seems better sculpted too. It's a little sharper and a little more flame-like. I don't know. This guy, I will say, gives me kind of like Craven the Hunter vibes, like he's got a lion fur on
Yeah.
his back or something.
Yeah, it's more like a mane than it is like flames rising off of his body, you know.
Yeah,
That's it's a really interesting look for the characters. So I'm excited to see the new figure. I don't know. That's
I'm excited to see him in the store
okay.
and really like make my judgment based on seeing him in person, I
Okay.
would say. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. There's been figures that I was sure I would hate that I saw in the store and actually liked. So
All right.
it wouldn't be the first time.
So what do you think of a prelim grade for
First steps, Fantastic Four. I would give their Human Torch. I'm gonna give him preliminarily a 5 out of 10. Just really, I don't know. I don't like it that much based on looking at it, but I wouldn't give him. Maybe I give him a 6 out of 10. I'll give him a
okay.
D.
I clearly feel differently. I'm actually going 8 on that one. I think it'll be interesting to see what it looks like and how it feels, like how it feels to pose, if it's any easier to pose than that. Because if it doesn't have the bent up neck, that's maybe a big deal because you can get those really good flying
Yeah,
poses, and I think that's really cool. But 8 preliminary for me, just based off the pictures.
8 on first steps. So what would your score for our retro card Human Torch here be?
I'm gonna go with a 6. I thought I was gonna like this figure a lot more than I do. I really like the translucent effects, but I wish the paint over the top really messes with me. Like it's something I just don't like. And that era of Fantastic Four, where Human Torch didn't have the four emblem showing, I didn't realize how much I missed that. I actually really like that as an element of the design.
It is interesting. I had noticed in the past, like when looking at the team together, and he doesn't have it. It breaks coherency.
Makes sense. So,
Yeah,
what would you give this one?
I'm gonna go ahead and give this figure an 8. I think he's a really good interpretation of a classic Human Torch. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a retooled version of it
Hmm.
soon. I think I would still give that one an 8 too. I'm giving this guy an 8 because of his like age and old articulation scheme. And we want to hear from you. Do you prefer Johnny Storm with his clothes showing when he's flamed on, or in just like a classic human silhouette? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everyone. This has been Human Torch from the Hasbro Marvel Legends Retro card line in 2022, and a preliminary examination of Human Torch from Fantastic Four First Steps.
And if you like toys and reviews like these, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next video.